In this session, we'll look at how you can implement your Google Analytics 4 code with Google Tag Manager. First one is, of course, we have to figure out what the code that we want to add to Google Tag Manager is. So we go to our Google Analytics 4, we go to admin down here and click on data streams. We're going to have one data stream. This is our website. If you're a more advanced user, you're going to have multiple mobile apps for iOS, multiple mobile apps for Android, and multiple websites all put together into GA4. This is the power of GA4 that it can do. But for now, what we have to do, we have to look for the website that we want to track. And as you see, we just created this Google Analytics 4. So this is why it's saying it doesn't work, but it works. It can happen the same way for you. Technically, it works. It takes time for Google Analytics to figure out that it is getting data. We have to write down this measurement ID, or we can just copy this one and we'll paste it later into the Google Tag Manager. So what we're going to need for the Google Analytics 4 implementation is a trigger that is going to trigger the Google Analytics on every page whenever a page loads, and then the tag that is going to have the Google Analytics 4 code. It's easier. We'll just go to tags. We'll say, let's get a new tag. We'll give it a name, Google Analytics 4. And then we have to go and select the type of the tag. As mentioned before, Google Tag Manager has a specific tag for the Google Analytics 4 configuration. We click here, and all that we have to do is paste the measurement ID that we copied from Google Analytics in here. And that is all that we have to do for the tag. Of course, every tag needs a trigger and needs a rule when it's triggered. It needs a rule when it is shown on the website. The rule that we need here is a default rule that is already in Google Tag Manager. It's all pages, page view. So we just select this one, save, and we have our new Google Analytics 4 tag already prepared in the Google Tag Manager. As mentioned before, we always have to first submit the changes for them to go live. We give it a name, added GA4 tag, and we can publish this now. A couple of things that we have to talk about. Technically, you don't have to add the new Google Analytics 4 code to your website if Google Analytics 4 is already getting data from your old Google Universal Analytics code. If you remember, in the previous session, when we transferred from Google Analytics the old one to the new one, it asked us if we would like to use the old code. So if you have the old code still on the page, and if you checked the box there, what you probably did, you don't have to add a new code to your website. What we did right now is we implemented Google Analytics via the Google Tag Manager in such a way that every visitor that comes to your web page gets the Google Analytics 4 cookie. I don't know, in different countries, the rules of where you want to serve the Google Analytics cookie are different. If you live in the European Union, you have to obey by the GDPR rules that say that you have to ask the user when, if, and which cookies he would like to be served. And of course, Google Analytics 4 is a third-party cookie that has to be monitored. I don't know how you want to implement that. There are different ways, different rules, different views of those rules, what and how stuff should be implemented. Google Tag Manager has different triggers that can be triggered after someone gave consent, before someone gave consent, and all of that. Google Tag Manager even has, not this one, Google Tag Manager even has a specific landing page with all of the information on how we should use consent. And what it does, it actually links to different third-party tools that can help you figure all of that out and make it work on your website. There are different tools. Cookiebot is probably the one that you want to use. It works great with Google Tag Manager. It works great with other things. And it's gonna make the banner on your website. It's gonna ask the user how do you want to manage the cookies, and it's also going to make sure that via Google Tag Manager only those cookies are triggered which should be triggered, or only those cookies are triggered for which the user gave you consent.